Oh, my goodness. Aso is first by by a whole length. How are you, Aso? Thank you very much. Good. Good. Seems to be only you're the awake one. You're in, where are you, Aso? Where are you located? Oh, I see. You're on your part-time job. Is that the job they just got? Ah, Oman. Okay. So I hope you're not going to get fired because you're watching this and not doing your work. You just got that job, right? No, this is a part-time job. Aha, good. Okay, all right. What is that other job that is coming up summer? What field is it? Hello, David. Oh yeah, too slow by far. Look, Asa and I have been having a conversation for the past hour and you now just show up. What kind of a horse you've been riding? Must be a lame one or a donkey. Ah, marketing. Good, Aso. Good, all the best. So how could a Texan with all those good horses be late? I cannot imagine that. Marielos, hello. How are you? Thank you, dear. I'm good. And I get better the more subscribers we get. It has this, you know, kind of jumps and then slows down. Suddenly, in overnight, there was like 23 new subscribers, and then it slowed down again. And so one doesn't really know. Hello, Petra. Petra, remember where you're tuning in, how old you are, and obviously you're a lady. Ah, Petra, guten Tag. Wie geht's heute dir? Luis Hernandez, 54. Thank you for letting me know. Oh, Petra, 54. Okay, thank you very much. And Luis Hernandez, guys, remember, protocol is where you're tuning in from, how old you are, and if you're a man or a woman, because sometimes the name or the screen symbol doesn't let me know who I'm talking with. Justin says, hey Mehran, I've been having a hard time getting over my ex. She's had 2 guys over the past 2 months. We've been apart, yet I keep holding on to hope that we'll get back together. How do I move on? All right, we will deal with that first thing after we do our greetings and a little socializing for the next minute or two. Justin. And in the meantime, you let me know where you're tuning in from and how old you are, and if you're a man or a woman. Obviously you're a man because I see it from your question. However, sometimes the names don't let me, doesn't let me to know who I'm talking to. So David, thank you. Male, 23, Dallas, Texas. Just like what David and Petra have done. Just where you're tuning in from, how old you are, and if you're male or female. David, your name gave it away anyhow. So the male part, not necessary, but hey, you just want to be sure? Okay. And Houston says, my name is Justin. I'm 18 years old and from Orlando, Florida. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, good. And Petra says, I live in Cologne. Nice, and yes, of course, Köln. I have been there, I believe. I think I've been there. I've been to Hunsrück area. I've been to Koblenz. I've been to Castellón. I've been to Frankfurt. I've been to Hamburg and Mainz. Lots of little places. I love Germany. I always enjoyed going there. Aso says, Mehran, what does it mean to have low self-esteem and how to rise it up? Okay, we'll talk about that as well. Petra, okay, good. Yeah, Köln. David says, protocol is protocol. Okay, El Haj, hello dear, good to see you. So if we have already said hello to everyone, let's go and deal with Justin's, Justin, in other words, question. He says, hey Mehran, I've been having a hard time getting over my ex. She's had 2 guys over the past 2 months. We've been apart. The past 2 months we've been apart. Yet I keep holding on to hope that we will get back together. How do I move on? The question the answer to that question is that why do you want to get back together with someone who obviously has moved on and is not interested in continuing that relationship with you? What does that mean to you? Does that mean that you feel because she's not willing to continue the relationship, then she's really that good? And on what do you base that observation or that opinion? Just because it's something that has denied you from having her or being with her automatically make you feel she's better than you? Because usually we are accustomed to think what we can't get must be something valuable. But it's not true. Sometimes you should focus on what you can get and why you don't want to get it, rather than what I can't get, I have to get it. It's 2 different mentality. The problem here is that you're not qualifying her to see if she's worthy of a relationship with you or not. You're simply qualifying her because of the pleasure that you have received and you may receive or you could receive by being with her, which in your age, that pleasure consists of only sex, intimacy. You know, that feeling of, ah. So I think you're focusing on that, then you're justifying that she's the right girl for you. Because at your age, all you're really into, you think you really want her, relationship with her, that she's all that. But in reality, what motivates you to think that way is the feeling of sexual intimacy, the enjoyment, the pleasure that you receive, because through that, you're fulfilling your desire, which at this age is all hormonal, and you want to have sex with girls, and so on and so forth. And through fulfilling your desire, your ego is fluffed, therefore you feel higher than what you are, you feel more, you feel confident through satisfying your ego, which means you're turning into an instrument of your ego rather than your ego to be under the control of your center, which is you, your consciousness, who you are, what you're put together, how you're put together. So you need to focus on why would you want to be with her? If you carefully examine that, you will see that it's all about sex. Because obviously what caused you guys break up was not because of sex. What caused you guys to break up was because the two consciousnesses, her behavior, mentality, compatibility, preferences, and yours, they did not match. They did not create a bond. So on that premise, you can say then, why would I want to get back to someone that these problems exist and will not go away just because I'm having sex with her again? Because you were intimate with her before, but it didn't work. The intimacy did not keep it together. That part was there, but it wasn't able to keep the relationship together. You guys grew apart. So what made that to be growing apart? Your mentalities, your preferences, your order, your mechanical process, your consciousness, the content of your consciousness, your values, your conditionings, your dogmas, your customs, your religions, all these things that could have had something to do with it. The you, the different you, the you and the you in her, the two of you, the two yous, the two me's, could not communicate, could not bond it. At the beginning, everything is new and novel. So the sex seems to be, oh, we like each other and we are having sex. No, at the beginning, it was all sex that made you think you like each other, that you're compatible. When the sex thing became kind of, okay, we've had that, or the intimacy, even if it wasn't sex, after a while, you think, okay, we've had that, so that's not the reason for us to really like each other. Now we see ourselves without any icing, and we don't seem to think that we're compatible. We don't like each other, or she doesn't like you, or you don't like her. One way or another, you guys broke off because of the content of the consciousness, not because of intimacy, sex, or anything like this. That part is already there. So the question I come back to is, why would you want to be with someone who already had problems between you two's mentality, which caused the breakup? So where do you think it's going to go? Another breakup. And at the same time, why would you want to be with someone who's already moved on and has been having two boyfriends in a matter of short time after breakup with you? What kind of respect do you have for yourself? What kind of value do you have for yourself? If you don't have any criteria to qualify a girl to be your girlfriend or to be in a relationship with you, you're going to be treated like dirt. Because if you don't have respect for yourself, nobody else will. To begin with, you must have certain kind of expectations, standards, criteria to qualify a girl who wants to have a relationship with you. You must also qualify her. Not that always hope and think, oh, you should be qualified in her eyes. Because why? Because she has a vagina and you want that sex and you think that qualifies her no matter what else is going on in her life or in her brain. You cannot have a relationship, a healthy relationship, with a sexual organ. In other words, if you want to have a girlfriend, you got to know the girl. You got to see how she ticks, how she behaves, what her manners are, what her morals are, what the contents of her consciousness is, how you guys hit it off, or what things you guys have in common. And that is what you can base your relationship on. Not based on that she has a vagina and you have a penis, therefore, hey, we can, have sex. That's just part of the whole thing. If you think it through, at age 18, you should understand that you're running, your fuel and motivation for being in a relationship is only sex. You think it's not, But because you're so young, you still don't know yourself very well, and therefore you don't have much of a standards on what kind of a girl you want. Therefore, the only standards and expectations you have is that she would be pretty, or at least meets your standards of how you want a girl look like, and the fact that she turns you on. That's it. But that's not gonna be what gonna bond a relationship or build a relationship. And that's why it broke up, because you're at the age, you run on hormones, and you want to try things, and she wants to know things, and therefore you guys are simply trying things. At least she is. And because you're a guy, you want sex, and you'll be more loyal to her at this age than she would be, because she's looking for other things, what the guys will have, or what places they can take her and stuff like that, which will be endless. That's why she goes from one to the other one. At this age, you should have no business to be in a long-lasting relationship. The duration of this relationship was whatever it was, and it's over. Now I understand she's not qualified because of the fact that it broke up, because that you guys don't have much in common on the conscious level, and because of the fact that she's moved on and she's got other boyfriends at this time. Therefore, she's disqualified, and this match is not a reasonable or suitable match for you, and you should move on and find other opportunities and better suitable girls for you. Wish her well and respect her choice and wishes, and respect yourself. Wish you well as well, and move on. I hope that would be something for you to think about. Justin. Aso says, what does the word low self-esteem means? It means that someone who doesn't think she's much, or she's qualified, or she's capable, she can do good things, she can find good things, she can accomplish things, she can get in relationships, she can get the guy or the girl that wants. A person who doesn't believe in himself or herself, a person doesn't try to be better, become better, learn better, become a better version of himself or herself. Someone who's just whatever, whoever treats him or her anyway, is fine with it, she's fine with it. Someone who doesn't strive to make the best version of herself. Pretty much that sums it up. And then depending on which kind of a forum or circumstance we're talking about, it could have other ways that we could describe it. Tiffany says, happy Wednesday, 43, female, Ohio. Hello, Tiffany. Ohio. It reminds me of the band Ohio Players. They're a good band. It was my university time, I believe. 1970s. So says, at what age do you think the hormonal effects on relationship wouldn't have that much effect, Mehran? It will always have a big effect, but depends. The question is, how well will you be able to balance it between what other stuff you should be looking for in a partner that you're hoping to have a relationship with. If you're going to be only focusing on to satisfy your desires, then you will always go for, or satisfy your ego, you will always be limited to certain things that will simply do that, satisfy your desire or fluff your ego. But that is, neither one of them is going to be a pathway to a long-lasting relationship, because the ingredients that keeps a relationship together was not considered in only fulfilling desire or only going after respecting or fulfilling your ego, fluffing your ego. So it is always going to be a distracting, or rather a derailing influence in a possible good relationship, and not letting you to really see what else is there that is disqualifier. So it kind of throws you off, doesn't let you see the whole picture, which is your duty and responsibility to know what you're looking for in a relationship, why you want to be in a relationship, and then why you want to be in a relationship with this person. Because the two people who want to be in a relationship, they could have different intentions, different motivations for that relationship. Maybe the girl wants to have a fling, or maybe the girl is looking for a short term, or maybe the guy is looking for a fling or a short term. Maybe the guy is looking for a long term, the girl is looking for a short term, or vice versa. Maybe the guy is hoping for a family, or the girl is hoping for a family, the other one just wants to be friends or have a fling. Maybe she's looking for money and things that the guy could provide. Maybe the guy is looking for that in the girl, and the other one is not, is focused on the personality and the relationship and quality of it. The motivation and the reason, the destination that they want to arrive to in going through that relationship is also a determining factor if this relationship is going to last or not, because the two had different goals for being in a relationship. Is one of them going to be in a relationship because she wants to be happy, or she's already happy and is going into a relationship because she wants to be in a relationship with this person? Is the guy incapable of being happy and wants to be in a relationship so he will feel more and he'll be happy because he has a girlfriend? Or he wants to be in a relationship because he wants to experience that and cooperate and together be team with this girl and build something together and see how they can travel this short journey of life together, or maybe longer than a short journey. It all depends on what you guys are in it for, what you want to get out of it, what you're willing to put in, and all that is, and then the content of your consciousness, the rest of the stuff that we've talked about before in the other videos and other discussions, which makes a relationship work or not work. So that hormonal thing is always going to be there until you're really, really, really old, which is going to diminish. But until then, it's a long way. Utopia says, I'm always wondering why all my female friends are mentally so broken, but still in long-lasting relationships with really great men, while someone like me doesn't even get a chance with a great man. Utopia continues, everyone says you need to be happy and self-confident if you want to get a relationship. But when I look at my friends, they are all zero happy or self-confident with themselves. Utopia continues, still in a relationship, they're zero happy and or no confidence with themselves, still in a relationship. Kind of wondering, for me, these arguments sounds like a lie to encourage people who are unhappy with being single. What do you think? I didn't get the last word. Still in a relationship. Kind of wondering. For me, these arguments sounds like a lie to encourage people who are unhappy with being single. I don't understand that. I have a problem understanding that. Could you rephrase that? I understand the rest of your questions, but kind of wondering, for me, these arguments sounds like a lie. Which arguments? These arguments that, what? That they're no good, but they still have good boyfriends or husbands? To encourage people who are unhappy with being single. People always say you need to be happy and self-confident to get in a relationship. It sounds like I see. No, because you don't know what satisfies them. Those people who seem to you they're happy, they may not be happy. You have a vision, you have an image of their life, a snapshot of their image. When you see them with their husband or their boyfriend happy hand in hand, that's a snapshot of their life. They may have just come out of a fight, or they may just be going in and thinking in their heads, God, what can I do to have some alone time? Who knows? But what you're seeing and judging their whole lifestyle with one snapshot of moment or an hour or two that you spend with them, or just the fact that you see them from distance, and you perceive that they're happy because they have, you know, maybe clean clothes on, or properly dressed, or have a smile on, or she's all dewed up. Maybe they're just going to a restaurant and they haven't done that for a while, and they just had a fight, and they are, you know, trying to keep it working. Your perception of what you see doesn't necessarily means your assessment is correct. That's number one. Number two, you don't know what makes somebody happy, because there are some people who are their expectations of happiness, or their understanding of happiness, is in different things. And how do you know what kind of a self-esteem and what do those girls that you think they're all happy and have good men are putting up with? How do you know that's a good man? Just because he's got a good job, or he properly says hello? Maybe he's an asshole in the house. Maybe he's an abuser. Maybe she's just a pleaser. Maybe she's willing to do anything because she has no ability to do anything in her own life on her own, or accomplish anything, and she's willing to be anything and everything in the house or in that relationship in order to keep that man. And maybe the man is a selfish asshole who simply is, you know, being with that girl because she does everything he wants, and he doesn't have to really, you know, be at his best, or consider proper behavior or proper treatment of his girlfriend in that relationship. So there are so many things that you don't know. And at the same time, the fact that people say you got to be in a relationship to be happy is not necessarily true, because what makes a sure thing that a relationship brings happiness? And two people who go into a relationship to be happy are actually are not doing the right thing, because they should be happy before they go into a relationship. If you go into a relationship hoping that the relationship brings happiness for you, that's a recipe for disaster, because two people who couldn't be happy on their own, they're now going into a relationship to make each other happy. How well do you think that's going to work? If they could make the other one happy, they could make themselves happy first. They couldn't make themselves happy. Now they're going into a relationship hoping that somebody else who couldn't make herself happy either is going to make him happy, or he's going to make her happy. So you never really know, and at the same time, there's so much excitement and possibilities and opportunities to connect with life and nature when you're alone. Because being alone, as we talked about it in the past, it's got tremendous power and responsibility to it. Tremendous closeness to life and nature. Feeling oneness with the nature. Being alone is different than being lonely. Being alone, as we talked about it in the old dictionary, alone, all one, means being all one with the nature, being in harmony with the nature, being one with the source. That's a tremendous confidence and responsibility, happiness in it. So being alone is not bad, as long as you know what it is you're accomplishing, or you're offering the society and communities and the world in general, bringing more skills, bringing more things you can learn, more knowledge. All that can only happen if you're alone. You can't really do it as good if you're in a relationship where the two consciousnesses are different, and you're trying to battle that out and make sense out of that, and comply with the other person's misunderstandings or yours misperceptions of things. And all that makes the relationships really a stumbling block from your personal development in many ways. Both ways can happen. They can nourish each other and become a better version of themselves when they're together, or it could be a hindrance for that goal. So, you know, you got to be in a relationship to be happy is totally false. Many people are in a relationship, they're miserable. And the ones that you think they look happy could be really miserable, or could be just a submissive partner that seems like they have nothing to offer, but in your eyes they have a good man, and you don't even know if that man is really good or not. You're perceiving her. So you're perceiving that she's happy, and you're perceiving that the guy is a good man. How do you come about that? I'm not saying it's possible that in, two people, they really don't deserve, or they're not really compatible, but yet they have a good life, because simply they are so different and they complement each other. Maybe the woman is very okay with everything, easygoing, or maybe the man just doesn't care and is very easygoing, or maybe they're both just like that. That doesn't really mean that only the women who are highly educated and have a high self-esteem can attract a man who is good. Maybe the man needs that kind of woman. Maybe the men who are actually successful in their life, they don't want another leader in life like themselves. So they want their wife to be someone who can go along as being a co-pilot rather than two pilots. So these are many things that you might want to look into before you think that just because you see a couple and they're having a smile on their face, and the fact that she's not really much, that is not really should be what the guy is looking for. Maybe the guy is looking for a girl who just simply does one part of the role in life and nothing else, and that works for them. So it's not really about what self-esteem they have or whatnot. It's about how they match and what their psyche is all about and how they are compatible. In your case, you follow what is good for you, what makes you comfortable. Be the girl who's got confidence. Be the girl who's selective and looks for equality in a man, the qualities that you prefer. But at the same time, be reasonable. It's not an army that you want to get somebody, to comply exactly to what you want and to listen to you or do what you want and bring happiness to you. Neither one should come to in a relationship to be happy. They should come into a relationship to simply make a relationship work and help it to grow and grow themselves together. But if you haven't been able to be happy, coming into a relationship hoping that that other person is going to make you happy, it's futile. So I hope that it addressed some of your concern or comments. And and sometimes, the relationship seems to be lasting and you wonder that they're not happy and they're not confident, but the relationship's lasting, is because sometimes when you go too far down into a well, you have no choice but really hanging in there, because there's no more rope to go down. And you don't want to cut the rope to be free because you fall further down. So you're hanging in there and trying to deal with it. You don't know what to do, but you're hanging. So their relationships are just hanging. What doesn't mean they're happy. And sometimes they're so far in it, like they have kids now. They haven't worked for so the woman hasn't worked for so long, hasn't been self-sufficient for so long, and has been used and conditioned to certain routine and certain order and mechanical process in that life. And suddenly now she comes to senses that I'm not happy, and what is she going to do? She doesn't have any skills. She can't support herself. The children are there, the responsibility of them, and she should now think about her own and let everything go. She decides not. She stays, endures. And so there are many reasons why they stay together, and just because they've stayed together doesn't mean they're happy and staying together. Maybe economic reasons, maybe traditional reasons, maybe customs, maybe they have no other choice. Many reasons. She says, I'm talking about my friends. They're all my friends and they all talk to me. I'm always helping to get their relationships proceeding. Yes. Yeah, well, that isn't normal. There's always going to be some kind of a problem in a relationship. There is no relationship in the world that it's all happy every day. Why? Because the relationship is between two people. And the two people are not just what they look like. Because the man could be handsome and the girl could be really pretty and hot. But still they have problems. Why? Because the relationship is not between their physical beings. The relationship is being conducted by their person, their center, their personality, their consciousness, the content of their consciousness. That's where everything is taking place. And if that's not matching, and since we all know the consciousness of two people is always different, so there's bound to be divisions and conflicts. So when you're helping them, it's not like there's really something terribly wrong with them. There's something terribly wrong with almost in every relationship. But to understand that, to know that, to recognize that, it's because the two consciousnesses are having relationship and the two consciousnesses are always different. Therefore, it's normal to have problems. And just because people have problems doesn't mean they should separate. And it doesn't mean that if they have problems, they should understand to help each other to resolve it and understand each other's point of view and where they're standing. And that is due to the differences in their conditioning, upbringing, what they've been exposed to, how their consciousness have been put together, what the contents of the consciousness are, how they perceive life, if they're really getting to know each other, do they really know each other, or they just know each other's image? Is this relationship between the two people and the two consciousnesses, physical and mental, or is it between the image that the girl has of the guy and the image that the guy has of the girl and the image that she has of herself in her own mind and the image that he has of himself in his own mind? Are these images the one who have the relationship? Which is in most cases true. The relationships are between the image that the girl has of herself in her mind and the girl has the image of the guy in her mind, and the same thing with the guy. These two images are having relationships, but in reality they don't really know each other. That's why in the long run, eventually the images cannot grow, cannot continue relationship. It's limited, it's not known, it's not clear, it doesn't create the bond, because the real person who is playing these puppets is in the consciousness, and they eventually show their unhappiness, differences, divisions, conflicts, and everything falls apart. So the whole idea is to try to get to know each other while you are all excited about each other through physical contacts and interest and initial interest, and use that time to get to know each other in consciousness level, and then see where you can bond. That is where there's a chance for relationships to to be successful, at least more than if not. In my circle of my friends, they are all in a relationship with each other, and I'm good with all of them. Yeah, okay. And she says, I'm wondering why the partner still stays and why I'm not able to get a relationship while I'm happy and self-confident. The German language showed itself finally. You couldn't keep that away. Und relationship while I'm happy and self-confidence. Yeah. Wunderbar. Well, well, I guess we can go into that very deep, and it could be a long conversation, but I cut it short. Just hint on it. You really haven't found your match. It should be someone who appreciates who you are, and you can be comfortable with who you are with that person. It just hasn't happened yet. It doesn't mean it's not out there. It just hasn't happened yet. You haven't met that person. And I guess it just remains to be seen. But definitely your match exists out there. Sometimes maybe you're so comfortable and having a good lifestyle by yourself that you may think you want a relationship, but you actually don't, because you know what other things could be involved in there, and you kind of don't give them a chance. Perhaps you're looking for a real perfect relationship. That's why you don't give anybody a chance. As soon as you see there's something there that you don't like, you disqualify it. So perhaps you may stop perceiving that person and judging it enough that you see there's enough there to meet your standards, basic standards, and then let the rest of him grow by getting to know that person. And perhaps you will be surprised that what you thought is not going to be a real match is actually turns out to be a really good match, because each person is dynamic, and different people would be able to read the other person and comply and modify their behavior or themselves and want to work it, and then chisel out a good relationship or good candidate to be in a relationship with that woman, with you. So maybe you should just bring your nose a little bit lower and settle for something that is not already perfect, and then together try to cut each other and shine and make a diamond out of that rough diamond. If you're waiting for the perfect match to come, you may disqualify every man that comes along, because they each, and also in this day and age that everybody is looking to prove something, that, just because you say, I'm not saying you, but some women say, just because I'm a woman, therefore it doesn't mean that, he can do this or that, or command this or command that, or expect this. So you, from the outset, you're trying to express an opinion and make a statement, and you think you're showing yourself, but in fact you're just trying to show that he can't step on you, and that's fine. But you can do it in a way that it will be workable. In other words, not scare somebody off when they haven't really done anything yet. So perhaps you can deal with that together in a relationship than setting out such hard standards right off the bat that scares the other person off and wouldn't even have a chance to get to know each other and compromise and find out how you can actually round up the sharp edges. Perhaps that would be something that you might want to consider. I'm not saying that's your case, but I'm just saying. All right, now let's go back to the other questions that we had a marathon with Utopia going. She was writing a book this time. All right. So now, Justin says, thank you very much, Mehran. Definitely needed to hear that. Okay. So says Mehran, if going from a boy to another is what we do nowadays as young people, what's the best way to do it without getting attached emotionally? Oh, you can't ask me, because it's up to you to decide that. Especially, I don't know, it might be very different for you, especially the culture that you're there is not that liberal, so you can't really necessarily have an easy time to be yourself or to fulfill this approach. But if you could, and then you could make it very clear to your candidates that you just want to be having a experience in that relationship, and you don't want anything serious. You just want to see where it goes, how it goes, and how long it goes. So that's clear for them. And then, having said that, obviously they're going to treat you like shit, because in that culture they're probably going to kind of label something on you and think that you're an easy girl and so on. But if you find the right guy who understands that you just want to be boyfriend, girlfriend, and nothing more, but then again, who's going to invest on you as far as their time and energy when they know the girl is really not serious in a relationship? I don't know what kind of a culture is there, but from what I know about that neck of the wood, it's not going to be that easy to create that kind of a reputation for yourself. So at least don't come out and say, hey, I just want to have sex, or I just want to be, try this relationship. Just see how it goes. If it wasn't good, go to the next one. But you can't expect yourself not to be emotionally affected, because you're a human being, and obviously you're sensitive as well. And you may like the person, and then if you like the person, why should you separate so easily unless there's a problem? And when there is a problem, then you focus on the problem and you move on. There's now no magic that I can tell you right now, unless you just simply want to shut your emotions and say you're just there for fun. That's a different approach. I don't know. I haven't done that with any girlfriend or girl that I knew. So for me, I never approach any woman just to have a fling for, or use her in any way, shape, or form. And if there was anything that one wants to experience, must be very clear and honest at the beginning, especially men to women. So no woman would be used or misled or abused thinking that this is a real relationship, but the guy just wanted to have sex or fling. If that's what you want, tell the girl that, listen, I'm not looking for a relationship. I really like you. I just want to have a sexual relationship. And see what she chooses. If she chooses, then your conscience is clear, because you didn't mislead someone, you didn't trick, you didn't manipulate. You let her make the decision and have a voice in that choice. Hey, that rhymed. Voice in that choice. All right. Let's go forward. And yes, so thank you, reminding everybody, please do click on like if you're enjoying this stream. We need to be recognized. Anand Pobaru says, my relationship ended as my girlfriend said I didn't give her enough time and priority, to which I agree, as I was struggling in my career and was going through multiple careers failures, and was much under pressure. I was much under pressure of career, that after 1 year of relationship, I prioritized my career for 10 months, and then she left me after waiting for 10 months. I feel guilty about it. I don't see why you should feel guilty about it. This is life. This is not a fucking fanfare. It's not a holiday. It's not a joke. You have to work hard to make ends meet, to build a career. And if that girl had any sense, could have understood that you are, whatever you're doing is to be able to put food on table, and maybe later you guys wanted to be serious, and then she would have been serious with somebody who has no job, no career, and I didn't invest anything on it, versus someone like you who were serious to put priorities on his job and try to build that career, no matter how long it takes, 10 months or 10 years. As long as a person decently is trying and genuinely making effort to build a career in such tough, difficult economic situations, well, that should be good enough. If you were a lazy ass drunk using drugs and hanging around doing nothing and she leaves you, I can understand that. And I appreciate that. And she should leave someone who's lazy and doesn't want to make anything out of himself. But she's supposedly having a job herself and having a life. And whenever there was a free time, you guys could have spent together and understand if she wants to build something. Well, sometimes life is not so easily and readily available in that lifestyle that she's expecting. It has to be worked on. And for every young person in the world, things are not that easy. So if she doesn't understand that, then definitely that's not the right girl for you, because life has lots of ups and downs. What if you guys were having a good careers and got married and then the careers went sour? What are you going to do then? She's going to leave because now you're having trouble? Well, she just showed it, that if you were in a struggle in trying to make something built, she's not going to wait more than 10 months. And what do you think it is? You're supposed to pay homage or pay some kind of a fee for her to wait for you 10 months? If she likes you and she wants to be in a relationship and she appreciates a man who's trying his best and making something out of his life, then she would have stayed. If she doesn't have that mentality, you sure as hell you don't want a girl with that mentality in your life, because she would not be a qualified partner. You want a partner who will help you to float. Not that at the time that you're struggling to float in the stormy ocean, push you down and say, the hell with you, I'm going to go out, I don't need to help you, and I'm going to take this raft away as well because I need it myself. And I can't wait for you to make it to the shore. You should have been a better swimmer. What the hell is that? That's not the partner you actually want to, surf the seas. So go celebrate and count your stars. Then you found out about this girl. This 10 months was not a test for you. It was a test for her. And she failed it. You didn't fail it. She failed it because she could not understand what life is all about and what challenges life could entail, and did not have the patience or enough zest to stick it in there and help you and herself to build something out of the relationship. First sign of trouble, 10 months. 10 months is a drop in the ocean in this difficult, challenging life, days of our lives here. So she should have had a lot more endurance and understanding. If it was like 3 years, 4 years, I could understand. Even then I couldn't understand, because the man is trying his best. And times are tough in many countries. And just because she has a job, I don't know if she did or not. Well, sometimes, women can have jobs that men cannot have or do. Or they qualify more and they get a job that the man couldn't. Sometimes, job market is more difficult for men for what they're looking for. And sometimes it's not. But however it was, she had a job or didn't, doesn't matter. The fact was that you were doing your best that you could and considering and putting enough effort and energy to make your career go. And she couldn't see that. And she gave it a time limit, as if it's what? Your duty to be ready with gold boxes under your arm to come and then give her life. Life is a challenge, is a game, is a ups and downs. It's like the waves of the ocean. It's up and down. You can't necessarily think that I'm going to be taking my plastic raft and it's going to be calm ocean. I'm going to enjoy the sunshine and then it's going to be food ready. I go out there. Well, that's called vacation after saving up your time. Otherwise, she is the one who failed the test, and not you. Go on with your life. And don't you ever feel guilty for such things. Now, Bushface, names crack me up here. 23 male UK, after a breakup, is it better to wait till you're completely over your ex, which might be a long time, if ever, before dating again, or should you just get out there and see how you feel? First of all, let's talk about the first part. Why should it take forever? You should understand why breakups happen, and you should learn about your own psyche and understand its role in the compatibility of two people and why a relationship works or doesn't. For that, of course, you're in the right place. We have now over 1,000 videos, which pretty much anything that comes in your mind after your breakup, anything that you think about, things that went on and how to move on and what happened, what you should do, why you feel this way, the way you do. After your breakup, you have a video here. Pretty much, without really being funny about it, I think anything that comes to your mind after breakup, if you search it on my channel search engine, you'll have a video on it. There's a good chance you'll have a video on it. And if not, the live talks here have cleared lots of things for you guys. So you should know that you should not be stuck after a breakup. Breakup is not the end of the world. Breakup is some normal stage in traveling through this journey of life, experiencing relationship. A relationship doesn't mean that two people get together and then they live forever after happily. It just means it's a relationship. That means getting to know each other, how that works. That's the experience of it. Sometimes it lasts this long, sometimes longer, sometimes quite a bit long, sometimes not at all. It's all normal. So when the breakup happens, it's part of the relationship. And it didn't work out. And to know the reasons for it, that's why you're here. Through these 1,000 videos, you'll get to know why it happens. Why is it normal to happen? What are the elements that makes it happen and helps and encourages it, or plays a role in its happening, the breakup, and what your psyche is made out of? What is the role of thought in this? What is the role of your consciousness? What is the role of desire? How desire is born, which you have many videos on that. What is the role of ego in this all? What is the role of fear? All of that shapes your consciousness, the content of your consciousness, and how you are affected and how you act and react toward these sort of things, emotional events and other things in your life. So when you understand that, you will see that no disaster has happened, and you don't have to say, I don't know if I will ever get over it. Why? Ever at your age 23 is as long as you have a hard-on. Because once you're no longer sexually aroused by her because you have found another girl better than her, that ever has just met. It came to end. It just happened. You get over her. So the ever is really not a proper word to use, that will I ever get over this breakup? Of course you will. You're a dynamic human being, every day changing, your mentality changes, your expectations changes, your standards changes. The girl that you like today, 2 years from now, you don't even want to know about her because you simply, all you can think was just sex, because otherwise your mentality has changed, your consciousness have changed, your experiences have changed, your standards and expectations of the kind of girl that you're hoping to meet is changed. So that girl that you met 2 years ago is no longer of interest to you. So for that reason alone, let alone everything else, that ever is a very short time, which seems to you to be a long time. Why? Because you're sexually aroused with every relationship that you have. At this age, every girl is such a heavenly experience, and rightfully so, because you have in your genes the program for procreation, and sex is an amazing enlightening, at the same time brings freedom to the level that you cannot expect to get it from any other level. You will have no responsibility, no feeling of anything. You're not even aware of yourself at the time of being intimate with a girl, and everything is perfect and nothing exists while everything is perfect. So that's the level that's where you want to be, and that's what you remember of a relationship. That's why you think she was so important, rather than thinking about the problems that you guys had on consciousness level and why it didn't work out and so on. Focusing on that helps you to think that, oh, I'm glad that I am out of this, because now I have an opportunity to go and find someone more suitable to me, and perhaps that girl would be the right match for me. So think about it that way. and you will know that definitely you will be fine. And when you feel, when you understood these, worked on yourself and understood that this breakup is okay and it was a blessing in disguise, because if it's not working, why should you then want to be with her? Whether you didn't want or she changed her mind, however it didn't work, why should you want to be in a relationship with someone who doesn't want to be in a relationship with you for whatever reason? So when you understand that and see it's a normal thing, it doesn't mean that anything is come off of you, or you've been demeaned, or you're no longer as much as you thought you are, or it took anything away from you, or you're less than somebody else. When you understand all these things have nothing to do with the breakup, and you simply understand that simply it wasn't the right match, and for what? Because you will see the videos and you'll know why, then you'll be ready to, having understood that, go on and explore other dating possibilities and so on. And in the meantime, don't sit at home and cry about it, because the only thing that you think a relationship is at this age is intimacy, and that will come with another girl that you will find attractive, and she finds you attractive, and you find each other's consciousness appealing and exciting and compatible, and you're both at legal age, and you both consent to get to know each other, and you will. And until then, you just study the videos and learn about yourself, and then you'll be perfectly happy and free that this was not a big deal and it's not the end of the world. Who cares? And you'll go on, find a better match. And you will. Every one of us did, and you will too. You're no different. Utopia says, men never are interested in me. They always take the broken girls. Well, some men don't want strong women. And that's neither here nor there. It's just that some men are. And you may be focusing on that kind of men. You focus on a healthy-minded man who is confident enough that would appreciate your confidence. But then don't try to be confident with each other, too confident with each other. Just be normal around each other, and keep your confidence and snub nose, or hard nose, toughness and roughness with the outside world. But when you get to each other, try to compromise and be flexible towards each other, both of you, when you find that partner of yours. Utopia says, I know it sounds mean, but most of the time only the loser are interested in me. The ones without a job for many years, being fat, playing video games without any self-esteem. That's frustrating. Well, you're looking in the wrong places, because there are lots of men who appreciate being ambitious and working on themselves, and trying to turn themselves better version of themselves, and learning things, researching things, being interested in things, and having good careers as well. I think you just haven't come across them, because just like you, a woman who's confident and has got a good career and looking for high quality personalities, they're also out there as well. You can't say all women are just all something to write home about. There are lots of losers and assholes in women as well, and there are lots of losers and assholes in men as well. But among both, there are lots of good guys, qualified, and there are lots of wonderful women, qualified in every way or shape. In shape, pretty, generous, intelligent, educated, good head on their shoulders, and the same thing in the men's corner. So don't lose hope at all. Utopia, what was your name? Anna? Was it Anna? Am I right? Or am I mistaken? Aso says, Mehran, I have an army of exes, as it is obvious when I ask questions. Yeah. Most of those people are still in contact with me. Sometimes I'd feel sad over what happened. What's the right way to stay in contact with an ex? No way. Don't stay in contact with an ex. Why? If you have enough confidence, why should you want to stay in contact with an ex? You're feeding off of that energy, that you feel fluffed, that I have so many people that want me. Are you not sure that of your value? Why do you need so many extras just to hang around to make you feel good when you don't have any intention of continuing or exploring any further with them? So that kind of shows you that you may not actually be in a good place, thinking that you need all these entourage to make you feel like you're worthy. If you're worthy, and if you're that popular, or whatever it is that makes them draw towards you, I hope that's not the case of the only bicycle in town, so everybody wants to have a ride. In other words, you're not the only anomaly, you're not the only woman in the vicinity, meaning you should actually be proud of yourself with the skills that you have to be sociable and so on, but you should not need to have an entourage hanging around just because you're not sure that what would I feel if these people are not paying attention to me. If you're seeking attention, that could be one of the reasons that you don't approve anybody. You just want more and more and more because you're not conditioning yourself to have more and more people pay attention to you. And that's the attention that you're seeking rather than a relationship. Don't let it to turn that way. If you have an ex, cut with the ex. Don't be friends with the ex, because you may be interested in being in contact with the ex for a different reason than they are. They are interested to be in contact with you mostly because they're hoping to get somewhere with you, whether it's sex or a relationship or getting back together. But you just want them because you want to feel good about yourself, or whatever reason you think you can be friends with them. Don't. It's neither good for you nor for them. It's confusing for you and for them, and it creates a habit that you want these people around rather than actually thinking that you should see if they're compatible enough to make a relationship out of it, which is what you're looking for, I think. And if not, then that's your decision. And Aso says, oh my God, Mehran, labeling things is huge in my culture. Arab Muslim, I see, yeah. And Aso says, I told you, adopt me, Mehran. No, thank you. Elhaj says, I'm 23 from Minnesota. Do girls like guys with muscles? Lol. Well, it's like asking, do guys like girls in high heels? Or do guys like girls who are fit and, take good care of themselves? Taking good care of your fitness level, whether you're a man or a woman, it's important for health and also for your own self-confidence and feeling good about yourself, that you're meeting the standards that you put for yourself to meet, and that's something good. So it doesn't have to be muscles through unnatural ways of injecting something to yourself and all that. As long as it's healthy, you go to the gym, you exercise, and you develop muscles for your health and your fitness level, that's great. And yeah, I'm sure the girls would appreciate that. Obviously, they're just like guys who like pretty looking and fit girls. The girls also would like to see a guy who is fit and takes care of his health and fitness level. Olga. Hi, Mehran. Hello, Olga. Как у вас дела, dear? Hope everything хорошо. Lottie says, maybe something that comes to my mind is the fact I understand things ending. I understand things ending. or maybe not ending. Okay, she says, maybe something that comes to my mind is that understanding things ending or maybe not ending. But how do I understand the cruelty? There is no need to understand cruelty. Cruelty is frowned upon, and anybody who does that is obviously that person is weak. Because if you're strong, there's no need to be cruel. Why would you be cruel? You're cruel because you're mean, you're in the negative part of this energy of this universe, you haven't learned the way of the universe, you are afraid, you don't qualify, you're not sure of yourself, you want to be mean to present yourself as somebody to be feared of, or somebody who's capable of something, which is all the reasons to believe that you are not capable of anything if you're mean. Because a mean person means a person who cannot make anything out of himself and is trying to force others by scaring them or being mean in order to elevate himself, because there's no other way he knows of how to elevate himself and make a better version of himself. So a mean person is a weak person. A strong person is never mean. What's the reason to be mean? The weak person who cannot be strong and is not strong is trying to be mean in order to look he's strong. But the person who's strong already doesn't have that need. Those strong people are not mean unless they're just assholes. That's different. Nicholas Marjanovic, I hope I pronounced it right, says, hello, my girlfriend broke up with me this Monday after 4 years of relationship. She was in love with me when I was the only person she got and trusted, and now that she moved in another city and got her first well-paid job and new friends, she told me that she has no time for me and wants to go out, meet new people, and experience life on her own. Yeah, so that means she's simply not of a strong character. She simply is now thinking that because she has some money and she has opportunity to go here and there, that here and there, people who are there could represent better opportunities for her, which would end up making her feel that she's higher or more than she is, because she's trying to be more through connecting herself with the people that she has an image of being more than her. Which means she's full of shit. She doesn't understand what life is all about. She's not looking for quality. She's not looking for things that really matters. She's looking for the image that she has of herself in her own mind, and she's not happy with that image. She's trying to modify that image, and she tried to do that by getting involved or connected or interact with the image of the other people that she has created of them in her own mind. Before she knows it, she'll realize, maybe it takes a long time, but she realized she made a mistake. But by that time, she already has forgotten her mistakes, because this is no way of bettering herself. This is just a distraction from bettering herself and growing the direction that she should. So you go and celebrate and be happy that you found this out right now. I don't know how old you are. Again, you didn't remind me or you didn't tell me, but lucky that you just spent 4 years of your life. And this is what happens usually, or it often happens, that when a woman or a man who are not in good shape and they have challenges, and then their partner, their girlfriend or their boyfriend, helps them out or endures that challenging time for them, with them, and when they get out of that problem, the first thing they do, they cut off their relationship with their partner. Why? Because the partner knows where they come from, knows how low or how difficult times they had, what challenges they had in their life before. But now that they don't have those challenges, they've overcome that or they've passed that bridge, they want to go somewhere that nobody knows about their past, and they want to be seen as if they have always been like this, with no problem and able to handle things, and they had money, they have money now, and all that. That's their own shortcomings. That's a nature of human being who is not really confident, and the confidence doesn't come from right places. Confidence comes from, to them, their confidence comes from material things, the images that they put out, and the idea and opinion of other people about them, rather than the reality and actuality of life, and knowing that what they've gone through, most other people have gone through in different ways or shape, but they all have had some challenges, and having challenges is not a bad thing. Coming out of it and having survived it is what it really counts, and they should be proud of that. Instead, they try to cover that, they sever the relationship with the boyfriend or the girlfriend, and they go on separate ways in order to pretend that they are better than where they were, which is really not the way to feel confident. It's like living a fake history on themselves. So if they can really be engaged in fooling themselves, you can be damn sure that they're going to be fooling you in different places and times of a life duration of a relationship. So be happy and get on with it. Go build your life and find someone more suitable. Mika. Hello, Mika. You haven't been around. How's your exams been? Everything good? She says, hi, Mehran. Do you think it's wrong that after 3 years of dating, I asked my ex to make a decision about making a commitment, living together, or let me go? No, not at all. You know, the problem, Mika, is that this whole idea of free living, and I want to do what I want to do, and I don't want to be bound with anything, and everything is available. You know, for guys, there's so many girls available. For girls, there's so many guys available, and they have now become conditioned to this idea of different girls or different guys and so on, to each his own, and then they will have a hard time to actually think that committing themselves to anything. Why? Because that has become their conditioning now. The girl has so many opportunities, and there's always guys lining up because they all want sex, and that would be the prelude to anything, and that would be the motivation to all of them. So girls have a real easy time to be fooled that there's always somebody else waiting for them, so they break up with this one when they're not getting along, or there's not enough provisions or fun or money or whatever it is that they want is not available, so they just cut it off, go to another guy. They think that that will solve the place. They think their relationship is between physical things, material things, and things will be better if they go to someone that has got more stuff. They don't understand their relationship is between their consciousnesses, and that's what they should be focusing on, finding out the right person on that basis. And the guys think that, okay, I'll go to another girl who's hotter. This whole idea of hotter girl, so many hot girls that I've been with and he can be with, and it's a continuous, it's never ending. There's always going to be somebody prettier than the other one, not because the girl is prettier than the previous girls, because it's a new girl and he has never had sex with that girl, he's never experienced relationship with that girl, so it's novelty, and it's always a sexual arousal again with the new girl. So that is something that has been conditioned in the young people's minds these days, because that's how the society has grown to accept that this is okay. I don't know if it's okay or not. For different people, different things. But we're talking about the fact of what it is, not if it's okay or not okay. That's not what I'm talking about. So the fact that it is that, some people think that it should just simply go on and go on and go on without any traditional commitments, that it used to be the way. And I'm not sure if that is or should be or not should. I'm not making a comment on that. But that is the fact of conditioning, that people at this age, at this time, think no further than being in a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, and each have their own careers and their own places and get together when they want. But if you think that your idea of what you want your relationship to be with your selected and qualified man, then you make that to be known. Otherwise, it will be presumed possibly that why would I need to commit when so many breakups happens, when I'm not sure that it's going to last or not? Why should I commit to this girl that later on, and since this is how it's been, not that girls make less money than the guys, or girls are looking for money or looking to break up the relationship or the marriage to get half of the wealth or not. It's not what I'm talking about, but that has been the trend of the things. So the guys have this idea in their heads that why should I actually work my buns off and then get married, and I know for damn sure that she is going to, due to the fact that she doesn't understand her own center and consciousness and what life is all about and what relationships are all about, she's going to get tired because she can't be happy on her own. She's going to blame it on the relationship. She's going to blame it on the marriage. She's going to blame it on the guy, and she's going to leave and take half of my money, and now I have to start over. And that's the law in this day and age in most countries, and guys are shying away from it because there is no assurance that the girl would be committed, while she wants to have commitment at the beginning, but there is no assurance for the guy to know that she will be committed the rest of the life when the children are born and they all get left out. Either the children are taken away from the fathers just because they can't handle it, or they don't have the time, or just because that's the law and the girl wants it, and they're going to get stuck with alimony and everything else and hardship, and then they got to start over at the age that they have worked all their buns off for that life, and suddenly she leaves for whatever reason. She feels better and more fluffed on her ego with somebody else with more money or more attention at the time, forgetting that there was attention at the beginning of your life with this guy too, but you guys went through a whole journey, and that attention obviously is not going to be the same as if some new guy shows up and wants to impress you, which was the same way that this guy was at the beginning. So what's really different here is the fact that she has forgotten all that, and she wants something to feel good instead of feeling good on her own, in her own marriage. And therefore these are the reasons that guys, some of the reasons that guys pretty much shy away from commitment. Having said that, the other way of it is correct as well, that girls are not sure either what's going to happen with that marriage. However, it is often, statistics would probably show that it is often the girls who seek divorce and separation. And that trend has made guys weary of making such commitments. It's not that the guys don't want to commit. The guys are also wonderful human beings, most of them. They want to have families, but they look around their parents, they look around what's happening, they look around their friends, they look around news and this and that. They get say, what the fuck? Why? Why should I put myself through that hardship of working my buns, of having children and then having it broken off? And I'm not saying, Mika, that's what you want to do, but I'm saying that is why they don't come out as years ago, propose before you even think this is the right time to get married. But now it gets to the point that the girl actually thinks, hey, where's the proposal? Where do you want to commit? It didn't used to be like this. The guys could not wait till they would propose to the girl, because there were certain kind of unwritten rule that when they get married, the wives stay loyal, committed to the marriage. And again, this is not about you, Mika. This is about the trend of it. The background now. Most guys are afraid of getting married. So if he hasn't proposed to you yet, it probably doesn't mean that he doesn't love you. It just means that it's not in their minds anymore by default. Before, as soon as a guy would get to know a girl, the first thing in his mind was to get married with her. At least a little bit after a short time. But now this is not on the agenda right away. It would be years before that comes to be on their mind. and yet still they're not sure. So if he hasn't asked, it's because of probably these things, possibly, I'm not saying probably, possibly because I don't know him. And if you think now that this is what you're looking for, yes, definitely you should say that to him, so you will know where he's standing, what his consciousness has been conditioned, how that has been conditioned, and how you can help resolve it if there is something to be resolved there. And if that is what you're looking for, you should let him know where you stand. And that is perfectly something that you would rightfully so to do. Now, that was a short question but a long answer, but that's what you get, Mika, when you ask such sensitive questions, which you think it's so simple. Okay, Saul says, hi, I'm 30 years old, male, live in California. Guys, please, before you forget, click on like the stream so we can get noticed. I'd appreciate that. And don't forget to share the videos that you like when you watch it on this channel, and share it on your social media. Help us to grow and be noticed on the algorithm of YouTube. And I thank you for that. So Saul says, I live in California. I met a pretty woman recently. Congratulations. She's friendly and funny, but this woman has lots of exes. Ooh. Is that a warning sign about this woman or her character? Well, just give it a time. You just met her. Don't worry about her exes. I remember when Mr. Jack White, a world champion in billiard, came to visit our university, Lewis and Clark. And we all gathered in that pool hall that we had in the university. And Jack White came with his special cue in the box. So he opened it up and everybody gathered around the table and he set it up. And he said, who wants to play? And of course we had this guy sure of himself in everything. In everything. So he said, I want to play. So he challenged Jack White. And so he started the game. Somehow it was his turn and he had one or two shots and then he lost his turn. And then Jack White was playing. And Jack White said, I don't care how good you are. Not to him. He was talking in general. He said, I don't care how good you are, how good you play, as long as I have the cue. And it was very meaningful. It said, it doesn't matter how good you play. If it's not your turn, what good is it? It's my turn. I have the cue, so it really doesn't matter how good you play because you don't get to play right now. You're not playing. I have the cue. It's my turn. So same thing with you. The girl might have lots of exes, but who cares? You have the cue. You're the one that is talking to her. You're the one that she's interested in right now, and you're the one who is getting to know her. So give it time, see how she behaves. If her manners and attitude is like, these are exes, but I'm with you and I don't want to have anything to do with them, well, then that's acceptable. But if she wants to be boyfriend, girlfriend with you, not just friends, because if she's just friend with you, then she can have, I mean, other friends as well, you know, just like you have other friends possibly. But if she wants to be boyfriend, girlfriend with you and still wants to hang around the exes, well, that's something that you will make the right decision. And obviously that would be something that no guy who knows a thing or two would be comfortable with, because those are not just friends, they're exes. And what is the ex hanging around a pretty girl for? I guess we all know that. So Olga. Olga says, I don't know, I've been in a low mood recently. Hope you're doing great. Well, why low mood, Olga? What's the matter with you? Nicola says, thanks, Mehran. I'm 24 years old. Okay, good. Mika says, still studying for the exams, Mehran. Very challenging as it is logic-based and require lots of practicing. I am determined to keep going. Thank you for asking. Good. I'm glad that you are. And I didn't think anything else. I didn't think otherwise. Nicola says, I hope this live will be uploaded on your channel so I can watch your answer again when I am feeling low. Yes, sure. It will be uploaded today, as all live talks are uploaded. In fact, if you guys want to see the whole collection of the live talks, you can go to the what is it? Playlist. You can go to the playlist called Live Talks 2016. Live Talks 2016. It might be locked because it is connected to a feature I have on my site, mindthatseekstruth.com, where you can, you know, take a look at table of contents of the books and read a chapter, sample chapter of the books, and look at the video of each book and see if the video explains to you what the book is all about and if you're interested or not. On that same thing, the same site, I have features like MP, what is it? VIP little thing, membership, which is like, I don't know, $22 a year. And it has all a bunch of videos that is not publicly listed on YouTube. It's a private listing. So all of them are available on that membership. But I think there are still, most of them, if not all of them, still also available on the YouTube public. Maybe some not, but I will see how many are not. I think maybe 50 or 60 of them are locked. I don't know. I don't remember. But anyhow, they will be available. I will upload this in a couple of hours and it will be all available for you. Aso says, love you, Mehran. Thank you. Aso says, okay, wait, I changed my mind. The topic is great. Who are you talking to? Aso. And Saul says, yeah, I'll avoid the woman. She's still in contact with her exes. Thanks for the answer. Olga says, it's like I can't feel life. I can't feel present. Even good things don't feel right. I need to find myself in this life. Can you feel this, Olga? That is present. That is life. That is feeling life. If you interpret life as something way more, those are extras, those are playthings, those are little goodies. Not the life itself is already with you. You're already with life. You're here, you're breathing, you can see things, you can experience things. Now what you expect, if it's going your way or not, that's different. That's not just the meaning of life. Those are the things, how you design the life nearby you. But the fact you want to be feeling the present, basically focus on the things near you, focus on the things you're paying attention to, focus that you're active in, focus that you're busy building or participating in. That's the present. The rest of it, at least that will get you out of your memory or your possible conjuring up for something in the future, and will put you in touch with the actuality of life. With the actuality of life is very simple things. Breathing, drinking something, eating, sleeping, watching, active, walking, simple things. Bring life to a simple base. then you will feel life much easier. If you expect life to be something that is not yet, you haven't achieved it yet, you always think that you're chasing life and you're not in contact, you're not feeling life. Don't let it to be that way. Be happy with basic things. Focus on the basic things, then you will begin to feel life and you build from there. Lottie says, in an ideal heavenly world, wouldn't we all be able to love all exes and all people? Yeah, true. But then there's a reason there's an X before the name of the past relationship that didn't work. So when it didn't work, it's like a person that you don't choose to be in a relationship. And there are lots of people that you meet. Many of them you don't choose, you disqualify them to be in a relationship. It's because you don't have things in common, therefore you don't think it will work. Now the one that you did have a relationship and you are sure that it broke up because it didn't work, it tells you that it didn't work. That's why it broke up. That's why it's no longer, you guys are no longer in a relationship. So that person also is the same as the ones that you didn't choose to be in a relationship because you knew it's going to break up. You did not qualify them. And this one, you did qualify and then you for sure realize that it's no longer qualified. So why are you keeping them around? And why should you be actually loving them? Yeah, loving them as a person that, okay, you knew them and you love all other people. That's fine. I understand that. But in a romantic way, no, of course not. It's an X. That's why there's an X there. That means not qualified. Also sending love to Olga, and that's nice. Utopia says, life is for me good food. Okay, good then. Petra says dancing. I guess that means life for her is dancing. Olga says, thank you, Mehran. It's always good to hear you. Well, it's always good that you guys all find time and share that time of yours with me. Well, guys, it looks like I've hit all the questions here and we caught up. Again, I want to thank you for sharing your time with me, and please do share the videos that you like on your social media and like the live talk right now before you say goodbye. And I look forward to talk to you again soon, and in the meantime, take good care of yourself and the others, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Thank you, Nicholas. That's very kind. Thank you, Petra. Thank you. All right.